Hello friends, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel. In today's session we are going to analyze the literary devices that are used in the poem Fire and Ice, and it is written by Robert Frost. Okay, so as you can see, what are we going to do today? So we are going to see the analysis of literary devices used in the poem The Fire and Ice. Okay, and it is written by Robert Frost. So I have thought about it that before starting this topic we have to see what for we use literary devices, what for all the writers, all the poets use literary devices in the poem. So first point can be to bring uniqueness and depth. Okay, so to give uniqueness and depth to the poem, writers and poets use these. Now next is allow multiple interpretation of the text. Now any one poem or any one text can have multiple interpretation. Okay, so it is allowed by literary devices. Now next is to give a meaning beyond the literal meaning to create rhythm. And first of all, literary devices are used to create rhythm in the poem, and these are the words which are used to give beyond literal meaning of the poem. Then, to give structural, grammatical, rhythmic, metrical, verbal and visual elements to the poem. So these are the points for which any writer, any poet use this these literary devices. Okay, now we come to our point, and we are going to see that what are the literary devices that are used in this poem. Okay, so first is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound in the same line, such as the long sound of o in I hold with those who favor fire. Okay, so assonance is the repetition of vowel. It is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. Okay, so and not necessarily that the vowel sound will come in the beginning of the word. Okay, so in the word it can be anywhere, but 2-3 words should be there which have the same vowel sound. Okay, so now let's see this with an example. I hold with those who favor fire. Now we see that this word hold has o sound, vowel o sound, and those, this word also has o sound in it. Okay, so this is the perfect example of assonance. Now next is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line, such as sound of f in the line I hold with those who favor fire. Okay, alliteration, you must be knowing that when there is a repetition of consonant sound in the beginning of 2 or 3 words in the same line. Okay, so that is the use of alliteration. And in the line we can see that I hold with those who favor fire, and the same consonant sound f is repeated in 2 words. So this is the example of alliteration. Now we are going to see the third literary device which is used in this poem, and that is imagery. Imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their 5 senses. Okay, so imagery, when we see the things in front of us, when we feel the things in front of us, or in short we can say when we are using our 5 senses to imagine something, that is the use of imagery. Okay, and this poem is a very good example of imagery. And a few lines I have mentioned here. Some say the world will end in fire, to say that for destruction ice is also great. So we can imagine these things like fire and ice in front of our eyes, and what are the emotions depicted by poet. Through that we can understand, through our senses, our five senses, we can have those pictures in front of us. Okay, now next is symbolism. Symbolism is a use of symbols to signify ideas and qualities. Okay, so symbolism, what is it? It is the use of symbols to signify any idea and qualities by giving them symbolic meanings different from their literal meaning. And these symbols, why these are given? Because we can have the different meaning other than literal meanings. Okay, now let's see, it will be more clear to you with examples. And the examples are: fire is the symbol of desires. Okay, when poet says that some say the world will end in fire. Okay, so fire denotes or symbolizes the desires. Then ice symbolizes hatred. And then there is a reference of green and gold, and these are the symbols of beauty and happiness. Okay, so this is the use of symbolism. Now next is anaphora. Anaphora, it refers to the repetition of a word or expression in the first part of some verses. Verses means lines or sentences. So what happens in this case, in the case of anaphora, when we have the repetition of words, few words or expressions in the first part of some lines or some verses, like some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. Okay, so these words, some say in the first line, then again in the second line some say, that is the use of anaphora. And now we are going to see the last literary device which has been used in this poem, that is personification. Now what is personification? Personification is to give human qualities to inanimate objects. Okay, inanimate objects, those things uh, that do not have any life. Okay, so those objects, if they are given life, if they are given human qualities, we say that this is the use of personification. And same is occurring in this poem. In this poem, fire and ice are capable of destruction. Poet has given them the capability to destroy anything. Okay, and therefore the poet personifies fire and ice by giving them a mind which is capable of destroying almost anything. Okay, so we have seen few literary devices that are used in this poem, fire and ice, and I hope this poem is more clear to you now. And how beautiful this poem has been after using all these literary devices by Robert Frost. So this is the beauty of all the literary devices in the poem. And with this note, I am signing off, and let's meet in the next video. Do tell me if you have liked this video and what kind of topics you want to see in upcoming videos. You can tell about those things also. If you have liked this video, share it with your friends. Okay, until we meet again in our next video. Bye bye.